Okay, so away we go with creating our site to make it alive. Here we go. So the tiles that are up on the upper right hand portion here, the apps, you want to locate your Sites app. For me, because I use it quite frequently, it appears as soon as I hit those tiles. You may have to click more or even more from Google in order to find sites. So it's usually somewhere down here. Here it is. So I have a couple of training sites that are up in helping me prepare to make sure that my screencasts are coherent and I know what I'm doing. And then I have my live site, but I do want to take you through the process of creating it from the ground up first. So we're going to go with another site that I'm going to create. You start by hitting the red create button in the upper left hand corner. And now you have a choice, which you're not really, you can change this later on. It becomes more difficult the more stuff that you have in your on your pages. But initially you have a choice of a blank template to use, which is really a blank slate and you build everything. Or you can browse the gallery for different things. When you are choosing a template from the gallery, you're going with the building blocks that somebody else put in there, which initially for me when I first started was great to kind of get a sense of what I was doing, but I found it constricting the more I tried to figure out how to put something in, and it didn't quite work, and it didn't quite work for me with what I wanted to do. Then I found the blank template to be more desirable. So you choose what you want to do, either or. So if you you choose blank template, you know, it is essentially that, just a blank slate that you can do something with. So in the process of naming your website, so I'm going to name this one Glasgow Training Site 3. And you might have noticed that as I was typing that in the name your site window, that in addition to the typing going on up here, it was also generating the URL according to what I was naming it. Sometimes if you put a name in the name your site box, you will get a message that says, hey, the name you chose is already taken. Then you have to go back in and reconfigure your site name so that it is still available, and it'll let you know, it'll go through. So selecting a theme, I built mine, I customized mine, but if you select something from here, if you select a theme, it will show you, I guess I'm going to go to back out here for just a moment to Site 2. If you choose a theme, it's going to give you the colors and the different the different layouts or whatever that went with this particular theme will show up. You can see this particular one has a horizontal navigation. It's got different areas here that you could put things in, different text boxes and stuff that you would see if we were in editing mode. We'll talk about that here coming up. But really, if you are in creating a I lost where I was here. Okay, let's see. Okay, so if you were going with a blank template, you wouldn't have any of that. It's going to just show up blank. So if having this kind of you know, instantaneous, it's here for me, appeals to you, then I would say for beginners purposes, then go with a template. If you like having something to work on for a while and figuring out how to take something that's completely blank and make it yours, then I would suggest the blank template. So then you're going to hit create, and it's going to create that site. My internet is slow here at home because I have a feeling someone's in the other room playing Xbox. So we'll wait and see here. Okay, so bam, it's alive. Here it is. So we're going to go into some other things in more detail later as we go through things. So we'll talk about the editing button. We will talk about adding a page. We'll go through and do that specifically. And we'll also kind of give this wheel its own screencast so we can talk about exactly what it does and how you work it. So for now, there is a place under Manage Site that you would see the opportunity to, oh, maybe I don't like Glasgow Training Site number 3 anymore. I can go back in and rename my site. And again, if a name is already taken, it'll tell you, sorry, try again. A lot of these boxes that are down below have to do with tagging things, categorizing things, because if you make your site, when you make your site public, you would want to increase the chances that if someone were looking for you specifically, that that's going to be higher up on your Google search than if you didn't have those things in. So a lot of the different things that are here are looking for, you know, those kinds of things like, well, what category is it? Is there a message that you're going to deliver right away to people who land? This site description, the more you have in here, the more of those keywords are tagged, the higher chance that your site is going to be higher up on a Google search should someone look for you. So down at the bottom here, you'll notice that the landing page is set to the home page by default. You can certainly change that as you start to build things. Sometimes there are splash pages, landing pages that people land on and then navigate from there. So, you know, feel free to boost and change any of these things. So with that said, if you do make any changes, you do want to make sure that you hit save so that it saves it. Otherwise, those changes will just go away. If you navigate away from the page, you can see I'm getting the your changes have been saved message. So I'm going to go back to the main page. And with that said, we talked about naming your site. We looked at the generation of the URL. We proposed to you the life question, do you template or not? And what kind of theme do you have? If you're going to go rogue and you're going to build your own from the bottom up with all the different colored graphic design things and whatever, I would say don't select a theme, just let it be blank, and we can put some stuff in there and change the backgrounds and things with the different color palettes that are available to do that. You're not boxed into something right now. If you choose something now and you decide to change things out, you can. It's a work in progress. So remember, today's goal is to leave with the shell of something that you can go back in and work with. So make friends with the fact that you will break your site, and don't be afraid to click a button. That ends the first screencast. It's alive, creating your Google site.